We are so back, baby. The crypto bull run is back on schedule. Decentralized Science is up 7.8% today. I am very excited for a Friday live stream. We have multiple things to go over. A few things I want to touch on with you guys here today include Decentralized Science, the state of the market, and hopefully just wishing all of you guys a happy weekend as, again, it is Friday. I'm super excited, so welcome into everyone as you guys come into the live stream. Let's get right into it. So 7.8% up at almost a $500 million market cap. Yet again, we are slowly reclaiming these stats when it comes to DeSci. The charge is being led by Solve today, as well as Track and Dynex. Now, Dynex is down quite a bit since I initially entered into the position that we have. However, the chart still looks freaking beautiful. I know it's been trending down for quite some time, since July of last year, actually. So we've had an entire year of downward momentum in the chart, as well as just consolidation, right? But we're down sitting at 36 cents right now. I think I got in at 56 cents, so I'm down quite a bit. It might be time to scoop some more of this coin, because I ultimately think that this coin, Dynex, at like a $30 million market cap, will hit hundreds of millions, which means we probably have around a 10x, maybe a 15x in this project, so long as the entire crypto market doesn't shit the bed. And looking at Bitcoin, we're still range bound, consolidating right in the middle of the channel. I'm expecting sometime next week, sometime in the next 5 or 6 days, I'm expecting a monstrous move to the upside. I think we'll be breaking out of this channel next week. I know it's a tough bet. I know it's a tough thing to say because we've been range bound for 6 months. Let me just check when we enter this range. We've been range bound for 176 days, which is basically 6 months. So I know it's a little bit of a hopium type call to say that it all ends next week, but I do believe we'll see some crazy volatility, hopefully to the upside. I believe if I'm to use the AI tools that I have readily available to me, thanks to stuff like Apollo Algo, which is a very powerful AI which predicts the volatility in the market, which is created by Default Trades and one other person, Bad Price. It's predicting that on the day of Nvidia earnings, we'll see an incredibly volatile day in the market for crypto. So hopefully that volatility comes to the upside. I think it will. What do you guys think? Do you guys think we break out of this range bound to the upside or the downside? Or do you think we still have plenty of time ranging? I know a lot of people are expecting sometime in October. When is October? Let me go back to this. Let me get the drawing tools. So a lot of people are expecting October to be great, which means we could be range bound for a little bit longer. But I'm curious what you guys think. Now, on top of Bitcoin hopefully coming to an end of this range in the next week or so, I want to talk about BioProtocol and kind of just the state of decentralized science. So BioProtocol, I found this yesterday in a Telegram chat within BioProtocol's little like Shillers group. It's DeSci Shillers. Well, no, that's my Telegram chat. I think it's Bio Reply Guys or something like that. The auction parameters for Biogenesis round 2. Now, if you remember, they just finished round 1 where they raised $6-something million in tokens for the BioProtocol. Now, they've initially said that they will not be launching a liquid token until the end of all 4 rounds for the coin, and they are beginning to set up the parameters for round 2 of the auction. I've not actually read through this yet, and I probably should have, but I wanted to read through it here with you guys so that we could go through it together, because I had a busy day yesterday, so I didn't get the time to actually read it myself. One thing I did notice is this bullet point right here. Biogenesis round 2 is proposed as an ETH-only auction, selling 2.5% of the total bio supply. The starting price will be based on the initial cap valuation of round 1, $100 million in FDV. I had no idea it was going to be that high. I don't think anyone had any idea it was going to be that high because it was all dependent on how much money they raised. The fully diluted market cap was dependent on how much money they actually raised in that initial round. And apparently they raised enough to warrant a $100 million valuation for this protocol, which is actually maddening. That is such a large initial market cap that it kind of sets the bar really low or really high when it comes to potential returns. No, really low when it comes to potential returns from it. Because now in order to get us to a 10x, we needed to get to $1 billion FDV, which is crazy. I didn't know I was supposed to join a DeSci gang. Well, now you do, MK. This is all about DeSci. You are already in a DeSci gang, just to let you guys know. This is a cult. There's 7 of you guys watching, which means there's 8 of us in this DeSci cult right now. Make no mistake. Make no mistake, we are in a cult. All hail the mighty dollar. Oh, a car's driving by. Do you think they know anything about decentralized science, or should I go flag them down? So I think, yeah, let me, I don't know that I can put this in the chat right now, but you guys, I'll put it in the Discord. How about that? Control C, open up the Discord. Scoop, doop, doop. Let me put it in the Telegram too. There you go. All right, now you guys have it as well. Just in case you want to go through it and read it as along with me. I'll come back to this in a little bit, but right now my brain's wired and I want to continue to progress through the different tabs that I had opened up. And then once we get to the point of discussion, we can start talking about all of it. So the next tab I wanted to open up here was Noble Blocks, because Noble Blocks is up again at 3% today. Not crazy movements, but I think this is a solid uptrend that we've finally established a floor in the price. I do firmly believe that anything that you get into, anything I get, because I can't give financial advice, but anything under a penny is like stealing money. Truthfully, anything under like 5 cents is a good buy for me, but because we're nowhere near 5 cents, I'm just going to say anything under a penny is a good buy in Noble Blocks, and we are well under a penny right now. In order to get back up to a penny, we are looking at 50% gains. So that is wonderful. I'm really happy to see that Noble's finally starting to find some support. I know it did it back here as well, but the overall market had not yet changed directions. And I think corresponding what I believe is going to be the breakout on Bitcoin with the inevitable pump that all the altcoins receive after Bitcoin has started to move upwards is going to be monumentous. So decentralized science as a whole, catch that next wave. Noble Blocks, everyone knows about it. We're just waiting for them to get a little bit of FOMO before they funnel into it. Now, it could be not until October that we see those crazy gains. It could very well be that the rest of the market wants to see Bitcoin rally upwards, and then the altcoins will follow after the Bitcoin move has happened. But nonetheless, it is coming to an end very soon. And I have a good post from Kelly from BitLab Academy over at Hit Network, where he kind of outlines that this happens literally every single cycle. So post-halving price chops sideways for roughly 160 days, finding support at the fair value band. So if you look right here, after the second, you can kind of see it on the first halving, but we'll start on the second halving to paint the picture. We see a little bit of a rally from the bottom into the halving, and then we have a long period of chopping sideways, if not downward, movement in the price of Bitcoin. And as you know, Bitcoin is nearly 60% of the entire market, so all of crypto is going to follow the same pattern, but specifically Bitcoin here. And this middle band in this, I believe these are Bollinger Bands, this middle band is where we find support after the halving. And then we continue the crazy rally upwards into the blow off top. The next cycle, or the third halving, which was the last one, which is the one that a lot of us got into crypto in, we see the same exact thing. We see a little bit of a rally into the halving, kind of. It's a little bit offset here because of just different economic factors. And then we see a consolidation period right at the median price, the fair value band for Bitcoin. And then that crazy blow off top. It's happening again. So we see that rally from the bottom into the halving, and then a pullback / consolidation into the fair value band on Bitcoin, followed by hopefully 12 months of crazy runway for cryptocurrency. I think it's going to happen again. I think we'll see around that $160,000 Bitcoin, 150 to 170, because what's $10,000 to the price of Bitcoin? And it is hopefully coming to an end very, very soon. There's a lot of cool metrics that you can look at when it comes to Bitcoin. One of the things that Kelly brought up yesterday on a space that I did with him and WolfWeb3 about trading and about Bitcoin, there were a bunch of other people on it as well. It was a really good space actually, but he was showing charts that overlaid the M2 money supply with the price of Bitcoin. And hopefully I'll be able to find it, but I want to show you kind of some of these long-term holder activities for the price of Bitcoin and just over the years. So everyone, for the most part, is just continuing to stack Bitcoin. You see, like, anything over 1 year is technically considered a long-term hold, and this red line here is far more volatile and kind of corresponds inversely with the actual price of Bitcoin. So when it's going down, Bitcoin tends to be trending upwards. When it goes up, Bitcoin is trending down. And it kind of gives you that idea that people are buying, hoping to trade, and then taking profits along the way. But if you look at the blue line, which is Bitcoin that hasn't moved in 5+ years, that is more of just a stable increase. People don't really take profits on this. And it is continuing to just hold strong and slowly increase. So it's very exciting. It just means that more and more people are accumulating Bitcoin. There was one more of this one. The dark blue on this is the accumulation of Bitcoin, and it kind of breaks it down by how much Bitcoin is in each wallet. So you can see right now, and for the last month or so, the people who hold 10,000 plus Bitcoin have been accumulating Bitcoin at an alarming rate. So these people are usually considered the smart money, and these people are going to ideally front run any kind of price movement that happens to Bitcoin. You can kind of see it back here. Before in February this year, before Bitcoin had that last little rally upwards, they started accumulating heavy right as price started to move up. They were also accumulating at the peak here, so it's not a perfect metric, but they've started to accumulate aggressively. Almost everyone has flipped into accumulation zone. So it's clearly showing in the chart where we're just starting to maintain that support in the middle of the channel. I think it acts as evidence to state that we will continue a little bit higher. Now, hopefully, let me go find that chart that I was ranting about a second ago. Let's go, Mohammed. Let's go. Let's go. What was I gonna look for? Damn it. I didn't take my stimulant today, so my brain is still foggy. Aaron Schilling ICP. You gotta respect it. Oh, it was, okay. WolfWeb3. Let's go back to the space yesterday. Thursday night spaces, Bitcoin stocks, RWAs. It was 2 days ago. That's the first one up here. AI and medicine. I should have been on that space. This is the one. This is the one. Where'd it go? Fine. I'll do it myself. It's global though, it's not just the United States, it's global money supply. Also, NVIDIA CEO is selling NVIDIA. Oh, great. All right, so we'll break to the downside. Buffett selling his stocks has no weight in decisions that I make because Buffett is a very conservative investor and I am not. So Buffett sells when he thinks that there's overzealous time in a market. For example, Buffett sold before the dot-com bubble really took off. So I'm willing to ride knowing it's a bubble and playing it a little bit riskier. Buffett sold in like 1999 before we had 2 years of the craziest bull run that I think the stock market has seen since the Great Depression. So he missed out on that. But it doesn't matter. He's fine missing out on that and just sitting in cash for 2 years waiting for everything to crash. I'm not. I want those gains. And so Buffett selling really has no weight in the decisions that I make. It just tells me, make sure you take profits when you see everything go crazy, you know? This is not the global money supply. This is just the United States. But you can see we're starting to pick back up a little bit. We're starting to print like crazy. It's funny looking at the RSI on this. It just never goes into it never leaves green, except for in 2021. So this is not a live. This is clearly not a live map of the M2 globally. So we will go back and find a new one. Always get your piece of the pie. Hell yeah, MK. Hell yeah. Hopefully this one works. Load, won't load. To the next one. Let's just do the global money supply. Oh, what the hell? Okay. I should have prepped this chart, but I didn't know I was going to look at this chart. Y charts is usually good. Hopefully they're up to date. I can't go to max. We'll go to 5 years. All right. $10 hours ago, Cryptos R Us. Here we go. Thank you, Cryptos R Us. Thank you, George. We are all George. All right, so this is the global money supply. So we go through cycles, printing money, trying to dry up the money, printing money, trying to dry up the money, back into printing money. And you can see very explicitly that every single time the M2 money supply starts to break out, we see shortly after Bitcoin go on a crazy run. One thing that I noticed is that Bitcoin tends to peak before the money supply peaks. However, the money supply tends to break out before Bitcoin goes on those rallies. So it's kind of nice to see. If you were trying to like trade the money supply, it'd be very nice to use Bitcoin as an indicator as to when to sell. If you're trying to trade Bitcoin, you can use the money supply as an indicator of when to buy. So we just broke out, or back in 2016, we broke out of the money supply, right? Of printing of money supply. And again, this is global. And we started coming up, we came back down and kind of tested that as support and then went on a crazy run. If you had bought Bitcoin and crypto as soon as the money supply started breaking out, you could have had this crazy run all the way from, I don't remember the prices on Bitcoin, but it was, oh, they're right here, $400 all the way up to 20,000. That's an insane return. And then you have to try and time that peak in the money supply. Even if you don't, and you wait until the money supply starts coming down, you still take some crazy returns. You just go through a big chunk of the sell-off. So the selling part this is not a good indicator to sell, it's a good indicator to buy. Again, back in 2019, the money supply broke out, came down, tested, and then started going on a crazy run. If you had bought as soon as the money supply broke out, you would have honestly had a pretty good entry price. You would have gotten another better entry price, but that was because of COVID. And then we went on a crazy bull run. The money supply just broke out again here this month in 2024, meaning this is probably a good time to buy. If it repeats the same pattern, we have a little bit of printing before a retest and then crazy money printing. And hopefully this is the final good entry price on Bitcoin. And then maybe it's not. Maybe we come back down and have another entry price in 3 months. But either way, history has shown that when the money supply breaks out, it's a good time to be accumulating crypto and Bitcoin. And I think that everything points to that. We have war on the verge. We have monkeypox or mpox on the verge right now. We have unemployment starting to tick up. We have the jobs reports not doing as hot. We have inflation, despite the numbers coming down, inflation's still pretty hot for everyone. I just bought $5 a pound chicken. Literally 6 months ago, it was maybe $3 a pound. However, the headlines are saying that inflation's cooled off, which means that it gives the Fed the okay to start printing money and cutting rates and everything. So money supply is going to be going up here over the next probably 2 years or so. And all of these different economic factors, just the only solution, thanks to modern monetary policy, is to print money. And so that is one thing we can always count on, is for the money to be printed. And if the money is printed, it debases the currency. If the currency is debased, the hedge against the debasement of the currency has always been Bitcoin since its creation in 2008. That was literally the whole reason for it. Thanks for the explanation. Anytime, anytime. I know it's stuff that all of us here already know this information. It's not anything new that we're learning. It's just a good reiteration. It's good to have it on everyone's mind because we're at that point, that pivotal point in the cycle, yet again, for realistically the final zone of accumulation. The final zone of accumulation before you get any kind of rallies in crypto, any kind of crazy bull run in crypto. We're literally at, I think, probably the last area that you can buy a lot of these altcoins and still get in at solid prices. Has Poseidon been covered? Not in depth. I've not done an in-depth video about Poseidon, but we can go cover Poseidon now that I've gone on my rant about the money supply. I'll have to gear up for an interview with them soon. So Poseidon DAO does personalized healthcare, fighting cancer specifically. This is like a fun website, but I think it takes too long to get there. It's using genetics to help fight and prevent cancer and different ailments that can be linked to your genome. And most things can be linked to your genome. So I'm a huge advocate, a huge fan of personalized medicine. I think that is the future of medicine. I don't think this whole idea of just taking random pills and throwing them at people saying, take these, hopefully it works, hopefully it doesn't work, so that we can know what pill to try next. Same with chemotherapy and stuff like that. Just take this pill, kill everything in your body, and hopefully the cancer dies as well. I think that the personalized medicine route is going to be monumental in the coming decades. And so finding a project like Poseidon DAO, which is taking this very serious, is a good idea, a very good idea. Plus, let me see if they have it on their website. Yeah, look at this, okay? Marco, great dude. Ayat, great person, great woman. Both of these two people are younger founders, which means they don't have crazy ego, which means that they're willing to try and test new things and push the boundary without having that ego telling them, I'm right, you're wrong, right? We see it a lot with a lot of, especially devs, but scientists. And scientists who become devs always have crazy egos. But look at who the advisors are. We got Chris, the CEO of Axon DAO, and we have Mac, the CTO of Axon DAO. So two advisors for Poseidon DAO are the two creators of Axon DAO. Axon went crazy, not saying Poseidon's going to go crazy, but they're advising them on how to most ideally replicate what happened to Axon DAO. They're also giving them the in to most of the people that helped make Axon DAO what it is today. And so it's almost like these guys got that little initial boost, that initial like bootstrapping to make it have a strong foundation and have all of the same connections that Axon does. It's not going to be a one-for-one with the connections, but it opens the door and allows this team to execute on those potential leads. Does that make sense? That's refreshing. It is very refreshing. It's honestly, like, I know we've been waiting patiently for the next Axon type presale. I don't know, and I hate to say it because I really like BioProtocol, but this $100 million FDV is kind of scaring me, because why Axon had such a crazy run is because Axon had an initial market cap, an initial circulating market cap of $140,000. That's why everyone made disgusting gains, is because you got in so low. That initial entry price is key. I mean, it's $140,000 versus $140,000 versus a $300,000 entry price is the difference between a 50x and a 100x. Both are amazing, but one is quite literally double the other. One is the difference from turning $1,000 into $50,000 and $1,000 into $100,000. Both crazy returns, but one is literally double the other. And so having an initial market cap all the way up at 100 million it literally means that you will not get the same type of returns from Bio as you could have or as you did from Axon. I know that these guys hopefully are listening to stuff like that and hopefully have something prepped, right? Sounds like a good opportunity, but you made Axon what it is today. Oh, MK, thank you. I appreciate that. It was not just me. I opened a lot of doors for them when it comes to the networking within the traditional DeSci areas. I opened a lot of doors for them, but they had to execute on it. They really did. Boomdia. Bombdia. Thank you, Devies. I'm out on pre-sales at this point. Yeah, I get that. The other thing, if we come back and take a look for a minute. When did Axon launch? February 13th, 2024. What was Bitcoin doing back then? February 13th. So Bitcoin, when Axon launched, Bitcoin was in the middle of its final leg. So Bitcoin had pure euphoria when Axon launched. Let me go to a different Bitcoin that doesn't have all this drawing stuff on it. Let me close this. Let me add AXGT. Another person's walking by. Should I run out there and proclaim my love for DeSci? I don't think that they'll have it on here. Then I can add it. Oh, LOL. Yeah, put Bitcoin to shame. Oh. I don't think we'll be able to overlay this. Okay. Two different in prices. So I'll just do it like this, okay? This is important. Follow along with me, okay? Follow along with me. And I want you guys to come up with another pre-sale in DeSci that has recently launched that hasn't done too well right off of launch. And if any of you guys mention Noble, I'm ending the live stream. But Axon rallied from February 13th until February 17th. What did Bitcoin do during that time frame? So February 13th was right here until February 17th. So Axon rallied while Bitcoin kind of had that move up. Bitcoin, during that same time frame, Bitcoin had 1, 2, 3, and 1 negative. 3 green candles, 1 red candle. And Axon got to ride off of that with 4 continuous green candles. Then they consolidated until March 1st. What did Bitcoin do? Bitcoin consolidated until February 26th. Then it had 3 crazy days. And then it stopped again. And when Bitcoin stopped is when Axon got to go on that crazy run. So when Axon went nuts is because Bitcoin was going nuts as well. Bitcoin was at the tail end of its final leg up. And then when Bitcoin stopped moving up, Axon stopped moving up. And Axon started selling off a little bit, right? It kind of lagged Bitcoin. It launched at a perfect time. So what we need to see for pre-sales as a whole is Bitcoin to be making moves to the upside and consolidating at those higher prices. Bitcoin consolidating here means altcoins are going to bleed against it. That's clearly evidenced by Bitcoin's dominance, right? I know we're going over very basic things here, guys, but it's important to pay attention to because this is why the pre-sale game hasn't been hot. It's because Bitcoin dominance is continuing to rally. Bitcoin dominance is continuing to move up, and Bitcoin's price is not moving up. Means all the other coins against Bitcoin are bleeding. Nobody wants to take that risk. If nobody wants to take that risk, you're damn right nobody wants to take the risk on pre-sales if they don't even want to take a risk on something like Polygon Matic or Chainlink or like Ethereum, they don't want to take the risk on these pre-sales in DeSci. Let me take a look here at what was happening to the dominance of DeSci of Bitcoin during this. So they launched on February 13th. Yeah, look at that. Maybe I should have compared it to the dominance. Axon launched on February 13th. Shortly after, the dominance tanked until they had a little bit of a rally here on February 27th and 26th when Bitcoin went on that crazy run. And then when Axon went on its run is when Bitcoin dominance started to trend down again. And then since the dominance has continued to go up, Axon's not really had any of those major pumps. It's the same story for everything. The same story on literally all altcoins. Let me see if I can get the AXGT this time. No. If I do the same percent scale, nope, that obviously wouldn't work out. Let me do. Ha ha ha. That's much easier to deal with. Yeah. It's not a direct correlation, but it is pretty damn close, guys. Look at that. Ever since Bitcoin dominance started rallying in this last couple months, Axon has not had any breathing room. But every time Bitcoin was volatile, Axon got to be kind of volatile too. So, am I still bullish on Axon? I am. Poseidon is launching at a $4 million market cap as well as WellShare. Those are fully diluted market caps, yes. Yeah, they're definitely higher than Axon's market cap, which was, I believe, 1.4 million. So they are quite a bit larger, which means that you're not going to get the same percent returns. But they're also, I believe, using the same tactic, meaning they're going to do the pre-sale and then they're going to go on to what was that? What was the one for LBP? Fjord Foundry. Which means if nobody wants... Fjord Foundry is a good tool because it enables the market to determine the market cap at which it sells. And so the pre-sale, while it might be at a 4 million valuation, they might launch the Fjord Foundry at a 10 million valuation and nobody might touch it until it decays down to a 1 million valuation. You know, it is very possible that you get a much better entry price on Fjord than you do the pre-sale. And they probably wouldn't want me to say that because they're going to want your money at that 4 million valuation, but I'm just being totally honest with you guys. If the market doesn't want a 4 million valuation, Fjord allows them to say that, right? I'll still probably partake in I'm still going to partake in the initial pre-sale just because you never know if it's going to be valued at that 4 million valuation or if it's going to be lower. Good morning, Pat Thick. Oh my God, Zach. Good morning. Good morning. Poseidon is launching at a 4 mods. Can we get the sexual harassment out of the chat? Huh? Zach? What the hell? What the hell was that? I'm just kidding. I don't have any mods. Okay. We'll see. Long story short, I'm bullish on Poseidon DAO, their team. I'm bullish on WellShare Health. I'm bullish on most of DeSci, guys. Shocker, right? That is such a shocking thing to say. But basically, if it's decentralized science, I'm probably going to buy a bag in it because I just don't know. Until they prove that they're not worthy of having my money, I'll probably give them my money. There was something else I was going to say, though. There was something else. Something very important as it pertains to pre-sales. I don't know. But I also am still bullish on Axon. I am still waiting, I think, for us to tick back down to this support line at the previous little rally, which I don't think anyone in their right mind ever expected us to go back down to there. After going to $1, I don't think anyone expected us to get down to 6 cents again, but we're so close. We're so close. I feel like anything under 10 cents is a guaranteed 10x. Obviously, nothing is guaranteed in this market. Please don't take that as financial advice, ladies and gentlemen. Please. Does Poseidon done with the... thank you. Thank you, Chloe. The setup for a successful pre-sale is going to be waiting until Bitcoin moves. We need to wait until Bitcoin breaks out of this trend that it's in. So, yes, no one has had success with pre-sales over the last 6 months because the market has not been in a spot where pre-sales are going to do well. Okay? All of the pre-sales at the start of last year were doing good. Or at the start of this year, we're doing good. And that's because Bitcoin was trending up. Bitcoin has not trended up in 6 months. So the pre-sales we've gotten in over the last 6 months have not been good. If Bitcoin can break out of this trend line and start trending up again, then we get into a stage where pre-sales are good again. And you have to remember that only 2 out of 10 pre-sales are going to do well as is. 2 out of 10 are going to be like Axon or like Noble, and I know Noble has died a lot since then, but that initial launch of Noble was crazy good. 2 out of 10 are going to be like Axon and Noble. 4 out of 10 are going to just kind of be like meh, nothing. Maybe they give you a 2x, maybe they just kind of like chop around, kind of like CryoDAO, did nothing, right? You're going to have a good chunk of those. Like 40% of the pre-sales you get into are going to be like CryoDAO, where they literally did nothing at launch. The other, what is that? That's 7 out of 10 or 6 out of 10. The other 3 or 4 out of 10 are going to flop terribly. They're not going to do shit for you. That's just the reality of pre-sales. Most of them are not going to make you crazy gains. But that's why you can't just pick 2 pre-sales and be like, oh, I tried 2 and I lost on both of them. It's because you didn't try enough. You're literally playing the lottery with pre-sales. You got to buy 10 tickets. If you buy 10 tickets, you're probably going to win on one of them. You know? That makes sense? And only one pre-sale I'm interested in, but it hasn't come out yet. It's not coming out anytime soon. Now, there will be... What is with it? Get mods, get MK out of here, mods. Pre-sale on Patrick? No. You know what we will have a pre-sale on? Block Solutions. But it's not like the pre-sale that you're expecting. Look at how many points I have. 51,000. There's 143 referrals underneath me on this thing. Blocks pre-sale, guys. Watch today. So the Blocks pre-sale is actually live right now. It's actually live. You can go get the pre-sale. However, we have not yet accepted the crypto for pre-sale. All right? You guys are actually the first people that have known this outside of an accidental post that went live on X yesterday, which I did not approve that post, by the way. We were supposed to do a nice marketing campaign. I did not approve this post. But it is what it is. It went out and I didn't have the opportunity to do anything about it. But we have Blocks pre-sales. And today, after I finish the test transaction with crypto, we'll be able to do pre-sales with crypto for Blocks Solutions. So I think it's important that you guys pay attention to what's coming through from Blocks Solutions, like I've been saying for the entirety of this year. A lot of cool things coming from Blocks Solutions. Now, to be abundantly clear, you are not in this pre-sale getting access to a token that is launching. This is a pre-sale for a year membership at the Blocks Solutions actual product, the service. It's a SaaS, okay? A software as a service. This is a pre-sale for the actual product, not for any kind of token launch, okay? These points, you're accumulating these points for the accumulation of points and potential reward for these points down the line. But these points are not linked to a token. These points are linked to potential reward later, but I just need to be clear with you guys. This is not a pre-sale for a token, all right? This pre-sale, though, will give you a multiplier on top of how many points you're earning. It will give a multiplier on top of how many points you're earning, but it is not. Oh, I can't even take this off the screen to log in. I was going to show you because there's two types of points. There's referral points and there's user points, but that's okay. Gotta check this out. I think Blocks is in my spam folder for some reason. Yeah, I know. All I heard was pre-sale for a token. Sounds great. Take my money. God damn it. God damn it, C90. The Blocks emails go to spam because when we initially launched the email campaign like 8 months ago, we got 3,000 signups for the email newsletter immediately, and we started sending emails out to 3,000 people. And so the automatic filter on Gmail put us into spam because anyone like that looks like a scam, right? Anyone who just automatically launches a newsletter with 3,000 people on it gets put into scam. We should have sent out a few emails and slowly ramped it up, but we didn't because we were just excited to get people's attention for it. But yes, I'm super excited for this, guys. I'm super excited. This is going to be an infrastructure play that is out for a while. You guys are going to see Block solutions all over the place this time next year. And you guys have the opportunity to get your referral codes, which you should already have. You should already have accounts. You guys specifically, the 12 of you watching this. How many likes are on this? We'll see if... Oh, shit. 11 likes. You guys are crazy. Thank you. You guys should already have your referral links, but go start getting people to sign up underneath you because you're going to want to, all right? You're going to want to accumulate as many of these points as possible. That's all I will say because we probably have an SEC agent watching. Flog. It's a funny thing. We send out 20K email blasts and have to use a third party for it. It's annoying. That is pretty annoying, actually. Too many emails. So I think that was all I had, really. Anything else you guys want to chat about in the world of DeSci? Oh, this was the last thing I had was Boys Club World. Boys Club World, looking for the best thinker in DeSci for an event/pod interview. Specific areas of expertise ideally include fertility and reproductive health. Hit the DMs. Not anything monumental, however, just showcasing that more and more people are beginning to acknowledge and show interest in decentralized science. So literally these people have nothing to do with DeSci. This is just a crypto podcast newsletter, which is trying to cover emerging trends within crypto, and they're starting to show interest in decentralized science. So we got to keep the shilling going. We got to keep the talking about DeSci going because ultimately that's how we're going to make any kind of onboarding of people, either contributors or users of platforms, into DeSci is just by talking about it, because then we get bigger and bigger and bigger accounts paying attention to it and starting to shill it and starting to just bring awareness to what's happening. So love to see it. It's just proof of the pudding. And truthfully, I don't know why they didn't just tag Athena DAO. Literally, they're the only people doing it. So Athena DAO. Bit Doctor. She's from Bit Doctor. Molecule even tagged it. Best answer without a doubt. I know your TISM used to focus heavily on being a gym rat. Who is your go-to suggested gym bro to follow as I start that back up again? 101 type stuff here. Yeah, I mean, my go-to gym rat guy is always, I think, going to be Jeff Nippard. Do you like sciencey stuff? Do you like actually having a large-scale foundation of knowledge? Or do you want just like a gym excitement guy? Do you know what I mean? Like, do you want a DYOR type of gym rat, or do you want just a gym rat of like, let's go to the gym, push, push, push? I think my go-to is Jeff Nippard when it comes to this, because he takes a very, very scientific approach to going into the gym. So he's all natural. He focuses aggressively on just the science and studies and citing everything for why he trains the way he does. I'm curious because I don't watch a lot of YouTube anymore when it comes to this. But what's the other dude's name? Fuck. Oh, here, I'll just go scroll through my subscriptions here because I still subscribe to almost all of them. He might not even make content anymore, but where the hell is he? Never heard of him. Oh, hell yeah. I have a feeling, C90, that you're actually really going to like him. I think you'll really like Jeff Nippard. He is a research-heavy guy. Christian Guzman's a good one as well. Christian Guzman. This is his old channel though, so follow his new channel if you're going to. I don't know. He's not anywhere up here, which tells me he probably doesn't make content anymore. That's fine. Financial education, LOL. I lost so much money because of that guy. It's not because of him, it's because of me, but I lost so much money because of that guy. All right. Realistic price predictions for ResearchCoin. It's a $33 million market cap. We're breaking out. We're actively breaking out on ResearchCoin, which is crazy bullish. I told you guys literally on a live stream this week, I explicitly told you guys that the breakout was going to follow the breakout in the peer-reviewed articles being posted weekly on Research Hub. So it's following exactly as we predicted it was going to follow. If you had purchased any, I think it was 2 days ago I made that call on the live stream, so you'd be up 60% already if you had just blindly followed into it based off that one correlation. My realistic price prediction for ResearchCoin is that this will be a top 100 coin in the market. I think ResearchCoin breaks above $1 billion market cap this cycle. So let's do some calculations. $1 billion divided by 33.60000 equals a 29x, a 29.7x from here. I know it's a comma, but my computer thinks I'm in Europe right now. A 29.7x from here. All right. The current price is 35 cents. So times this by 0.3521 equals, I think ResearchCoin goes to $10.50 this cycle. I think ResearchCoin goes to $10.50 this cycle. Right around here. That's truthfully my base case. So that's assuming that ResearchCoin continues to progress forward. That's assuming Brian Armstrong comes out at some point this bull run and endorses it. That's assuming that people make themselves aware of decentralized science. That's assuming that I do a good job in creating all the content and onboarding those people to care about decentralized science. That is assuming that CZ gets out of jail and they finally start talking about the VC fund that Binance has created for investing into decentralized science, and people catch wind of the fact that this movement is beginning and has already been going on for the better part of a year or two. That's assuming a baseline of acknowledgement of what's happening here. Okay, that's not assuming that we see ResearchCoin in the top 100 cryptocurrencies, because I also believe that there is a possibility, like my bull case scenario is that everything in the top 100 does a 10x from here. So the baseline market caps, well, I guess everything has already started to do that 10x. I've been saying the baseline market caps for everything in the top 100 go to be $5 billion. If we were to see ResearchCoin be a top 100 cryptocurrency, which is possible, it would just be that super bull case scenario. We're talking about it having a $5 billion market cap, which would be a 5x on top of what I'm suggesting, which would be a $50 ResearchCoin. That is like a moonshot case, okay? That's like the stars are aligned. DeSci becomes a main narrative of cryptocurrency. We see CZ come out and talking with Brian Armstrong. We see full endorsement. We see Coinbase accept ResearchCoin onto their platform. We see like everything aligns perfectly. I'm saying it becomes a top 100 coin. And if the top 100 coins have $5 billion market caps, then it's a $50 ResearchCoin. I don't know. I'm not going to wait and not sell when, right? Like, I'm not going to hold every single one of my coins to that $50 price target in a super euphoric bull market. Okay. That's assuming Trump gets elected. That's assuming Bitcoin goes to like $200,000 per coin. That's not a base case scenario. My base case, I think, is $10. My bearish case is probably going to have to be like $3 to $5, right? We see it be at like $300 million, $500 million market cap, which is like, if that's all it goes to, then I don't think we did a good job at shilling DeSci to everyone. That's like the $300 to $500 million market cap range is what I think is a base case for Noble Blocks. I think a bull case for Noble Blocks is at a $1 billion market cap, which I think puts Noble Blocks up at like $1. Powell's going to speak in an hour. What do you guys expect? A bunch of nothing. Jeremy's a good guy, but yeah, he went too heavy into Tattooed Chef. Dude, I got cooked on Tattooed Chef. I think I put like $2,000 into it, and at the time, that was a lot of money for me. I gotta set up a daily routine, so I'll start with Jeff and see what I find. Definitely. You'll like Jeff. And then earlier, you were looking at what crypto is correlated to. The answer is obviously your YouTube channel. I would agree with that statement. I'm just saying. If we objectively look at what happened, okay? Tuesday is when I started my live streams again. Just saying. Bitcoin's up 2.5% from when I started my live streams. We go to DeSci. What's DeSci chilling at? So it's about halfway to, I mean, this is proof is in the pudding, right? This is on a weekly basis, right? This chart right here. This is not just a daily thing. I mean, the proof is in the pudding. DeSci's up since I started going live again. So clearly, I am the buy signal coming back. So do with that information as you wish. $10 RSC, it makes me so wet. Crazy. A $10 RSC is actually insane because when we called ResearchCoin out in the Discord, how many of you guys are probably the people that were here when we were talking about it, but when we called ResearchCoin out in the Discord, it was during this little rally. And so I'm like, all right, guys, it's gone up a good amount, but I think this is probably a banger because, well, let's be honest, it's Brian Armstrong's project, and so it's probably going to do pretty damn well. It was right around here, and I remember buying it and being like, damn, it's down, but that is what it is. And then looking back, it was literally 1 cent, 1.5 cents. Now we're chilling, it's all the way up at like 30 cents, and we're talking about going to $10. So getting in at 1 cent, getting in at 2 cents, and rallying and running all the way up to $10. If any of you studs hold that entire time, that's a crazy, crazy returns. Just assuming it actually happens. A 500x. Assuming that it goes to $10. That is actually balls of steel. That's crazy. That means for every dollar you put in, you got a $500 return. So you put in $1,000 into it when it was down at 1.5, 2 cents, and it goes to $10, you now have $500,000. That's some good gains. I'm looking and I'm hoping and I'm waiting for the next coin that does that, because that happened to Axon just quicker. That happened to Axon, but way quicker. Okay, I am about to McTrade myself, so I think we're gonna end the live stream here. Your time is your most valuable asset. Hopefully this was worth investing it into. Don't fade DeSci. It is my life mission. It is my life mission to bring DeSci to life. You guys, honestly, we have to do it together. That's what the cult is based around. The cult is based around shilling decentralized science to everyone. So come join DeSci Shillers, which is in the link that I put somewhere on my socials, right? It's in my bio on every single social. You can come click the link me and go to the Telegram, DeSci Shillers. I also, yesterday, while I was on a space, put together a list of, on X, which I'll share with you guys soon, called DeSci Shillers, where we can go and it has all of the main contributors to DeSci in this list, and you can just spam underneath it and just boost the posts. Just go crazy, commenting your own stuff, repurposing everything. Like, this is just a resource to use to make sure that we bolster the metrics behind DeSci. That's the only way it's going to succeed, is if we all come together and worship the almighty DeSci. Your time's your most valuable asset. Hopefully this was worth investing it into. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you guys on Monday, hopefully with another monitor.